Hiya Virgo, this is your reading for October 21st through the 31st. We will be looking at your love and relationships, career/work, and your soul path. My name is Dr. Tarot, and I am from this new startup website, or YouTube channel called Take Charge Tarot. If you would feel so moved, or you just feel like doing some service for a startup, by all means, please click subscribe, like this video, and let's get into your video. Long day, guys. Let's get into your reading here. All right. Oh, and full disclosure, I am a Virgo moon, so I consider the moon just as important a placement. Oh, and another thing about placements, I acknowledge all planetary placements. So I always say to clients, if you are, I'll spend a little more time some other times explaining this, but as to why with each planet, but also look at your Mercury, look at your Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Those things can sometimes make a reading relevant to you. Chiron, that's another, it's the planet of healing. But again, let's stay focused here. All right. So Virgo, looking at career, you're ready to leave something. So this is definitely the universe saying you're making the right move. You're either thinking about it, you've already planned for it, or you have done it. You're on the other side of this card. Either way, I am definitely getting the feeling, I'm not getting any big drama about it. I'm not getting like it was so hard to walk away. It was just time. It was time to leave. Whether, it never really matters the sort of inciting incident, right? You've been thinking about something for like a year, maybe 2, maybe 5 months, 6 months. And there's that one thing. It's the one thing the boss said. It's the one thing the coworker did. But it's not really it's not that thing. That's just the thing that pushed you over. So I feel a very, like a sense of serenity here. Like you're good. You're just walking. Yeah, it wasn't good for me anymore. And look, there's no drama here. That bull has the fire. It's transmuting into nothing, into air. And you're going toward the sun. So a beautiful card. Definitely getting an affirmative yes, you did the right thing. And then the energy that you kind of want to move toward is taking the time to go within, the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is a little more complicated than just like, hey, you need time alone, right? So I don't want to oversimplify it in this reading at all. But it is to say that you have an opportunity right now to just go assess. Now, I don't know if you have another job lined up. I don't know if you're just taking a break, especially if this is something that you do that does not financially support you, so you don't need it for money. You're definitely being called to take a step back to look at your situation. Now, here's how that could look. Let's say you have another job, or you have another job that's even within your career in a different department, in a different place, or you've started a business. It's saying not to make any hard and fast rules right now. Just you need some time. I'm seeing a year. I'm seeing about a year, 12 months. Yeah, I keep seeing 12 a year. So you need about a year to just regroup and see what is naturally emanating from within. This card rarely is that simple, but again, I'm getting it very, very directly. Like what you see here is what you need to be doing. So you want to move in that direction. That doesn't mean you're going to be there tomorrow. That doesn't mean you're going to get there by November. It just means any movement toward this is being here. This is the direction you want to move in. So it is not static. It is in flux. And in terms of any immediate action you should take, I'm getting that you need to reward yourself with something really that fills your heart up. And I'm talking about like, I'm getting a childhood vibe here. I'm getting like going to the zoo and skipping around. And if you don't like the zoo, I'm not a fan of the zoo. I have my own reasons, but the zoo is very popular. A lot of people love the zoo, or if you love the mall, or if you love, I see skipping. So that's either literal or figurative, meaning you either literally as a child skipped in this place, or recently in your adult life you have had the desire, the inclination to go skipping somewhere in this enchanted place. And again, enchanted to you doesn't have to be enchanted to other people. But I see skipping. So, and hey, if that doesn't resonate for you, no big deal. There's much more to read here, and obviously it's definitely for somebody here. But skipping. All right, moving on. So that's great. You know what to do for yourself. Just take yourself. It's almost like take yourself on a child date. I'm getting an inner child thing here. So I've made my point, I think. Where you are right now in relationships. So now, Virgo, I hopefully only say this once, because I feel like I've said it in every sign of a video that I've made, but I'm not one to just overgeneralize, like, oh, you know how Virgos are. Yes, Virgo is your sun, but as you and I both know, you have many planetary placements. So a Virgo with a ton of fire in their chart is going to look very different than a Virgo with a lot of earth, or with earth and water, right? So in that spirit, now that I've said that being kind of like my caveat, or my, what do I call it? My clause, if you will. This does feel very Virgo to me. And speaking as a Virgo moon, this is what we do, right? We care about our health. And one of the ways that we do that is we teach ourselves, we learn, we get our hands on books, but this doesn't just have to be reading. We find teachers, we go online, we want to understand fully what happened or who you are. Now, what I'm seeing here, interestingly, this is not a breakup thing. Either you've been single for a long time, so obviously if I'm talking to marrieds or people in long-term relationships, see how this might relate to you. But what I am seeing here is you either have never been in love, which is really hard to, I think it's perfectly legitimate. And if you've never been in love, cool. Your experience is just as legitimate as anybody who's been in love a million times, right? But I'm getting the feeling that you've never really experienced love, whatever it is that you hear people talk about and hear the movies and the media. And again, another caveat, we also know that that's fiction, right? That's not that's not love, that's romance. Those are chemicals that invade our brain. They're beautiful chemicals, they feel great, but there's a balance to be had here. So in other words, you've never had those feelings and you're wondering why. What's the deal? If you have had those feelings, then this means that, to me, this is how I feel this for you, you haven't had them for a long time. Oops. So you remember what it is to have those feelings, but it's such a distant memory that it was almost like another person had that experience. Well, guess what? This is going to pay off, because this is the direction you're moving in. Romance. Now, this isn't always Two of Cups doesn't have to be romance or a relationship all the time. In fact, we make a huge mistake in thinking that, because some people are not, they are aromantic and asexual. So this doesn't really make sense, right? But for those of you who are, and if you are aromantic or asexual, this is definitely about a relationship with yourself. Because you have relationships. You are a human and we are social beings. So any relationship that has this energy or potential, this is the direction you need to be moving in. Basically, this is the opposite of this card would be this. You need to step back and just figure you out. You've been doing that. You've been doing that and you're still doing it, and it's lovely, right? It's a beautiful thing. Like, this can stay. This can be with you the whole cycle you've got. This is a beautiful place to be. It's very light. It's very almost whimsical, right? I mean, here we are with the swords, which we know is an instrument that can cut. We know it's, obviously it can have violent implications, goodness knows, and the other sword cards in the deck can be like, pretty gruesome. But here it's just simply, it's balancing her between two pieces of earth. And for fun, just for your information, the page is the earth element of the swords. So any pages are earth plus that element. And it's just, they're just enjoying themselves. They're learning. And look, they're having insights. So this card feels fabulous. I just want to say that in terms of, there's some really powerful cards here. And for you, Virgo, this one is feeling like the most lit up for me. So just putting that out there. And this is the direction it's taking you, which this might only make sense to a Virgo. As a Virgo moon, I certainly can identify with this. We've got to understand it. We want to think it through. We like things to be tidy. So, this is the direction you should be moving in. And as far as the immediate action, wow, the World card. You've come to the end of a cycle. The immediate action is to accept, okay, it's time to accept. I don't think it's an accident that there's not a rainbow here and a rainbow here. She's looking above. She's like, okay, I've learned. I know what it's like to be on my own. I know what it's like to not be flooded with or intoxicated with those chemicals of romance and love with the short-term love, the part of love that's just, let's face it, there's just not a feeling like it, right? But you're like, okay, I haven't had that in a while. I'm good with me. Now I'm ready. So I think, what your whole line is right now, Virgo? Your whole thing is about inviting and accepting. It's basically what's happening here. You've been doing you. Even if you've been in a relationship, my sense, whoever I'm talking to, if you're a very, very happy, in a very, very romantic, high energy, whatever romance, this probably isn't for you, but whoever I am talking to, this is it's a really lovely, interesting place, because so often it seems like people break up and it's like, girl, you need time alone, or dude, you need to not date for a while. And this is like the opposite of that. This is not a bad thing, not like you need to get out there, you haven't been. No, it's not that at all. It's you are ready to invite passion into your life. Does that mean you're going to have passion tomorrow? No. Does that mean you're going to have passion next month? Maybe, but not necessarily. This could be a 5-year-long cycle. We don't know. So this isn't about time, is just time and space, just for fun. I'll make sure I say this to you all. Time and space is ephemeral here. Time and space don't exist in the world of tarot. So you watching this video and me telling you these things, they really exist outside of space and time. Yes, you're watching this video in your human form and you're somewhere. You might be in the grocery store or wherever. But what we're talking about here is, I think you get it. So it could vary. This could be anywhere from an hour after you hear this reading to 10 years from now, okay? Or anything in between. So just want to be clear about that. Okay. And here we've got life path. So where you are right now, God, this is incredible how all this is kind of interconnected. If I had to give a word for Virgo, it's like Virgos are chilling right now. You're in chill mode. And that's a good thing. I guess the Virgos I'm talking about, you guys really have, gals, guys, family, you really have a good sense of you. Like, what I'm feeling here is that I'd have coffee with Virgo, and Virgo is solid. Virgo is not you know, full of ego about it. They're not like, oh my God, I am so secure with myself. No, they're not, obviously, they're not like that. But Virgo is just good, solid. You're in this like great place, and it's almost like what I'm getting most assuredly from just the whole vista is you're on the precipice of something. So it's not necessarily that you had major trauma and drama here I'm doing this motion here over here off camera in the past, though that may be it too, I don't know. But what I'm feeling is there is a calm, but there's also kind of a readiness. There's a preparation mixed with readiness. Like, you know what? I don't even know what I'm preparing for. I don't even know what I'm ready for, but I know I'm ready for something. And it's stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, but you're so good with yourself that it's not even uncomfortable. I hope that makes sense. So it's not, take a chance, come on. You know, it's like you're balancing on a sword, for God's sakes, with a book in one hand and light bulbs and string in another. I mean, you're not, this isn't a feel the fear and do it anyway kind of scenario. I don't see that you're afraid. I just feel this like really calm and humble security. I don't love that word for this because it's beyond security. Maybe it's groundedness, but groundedness in a non-fuddy-duddy way. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So 4 of Swords. This is an interesting card because this is one of those cards that has very many ways it can go. When I read, at least, especially in this deck. This is not a bad card. So this is you resting. This is soul path. So, you know, I was just saying a bunch of stuff about like trauma, drama. You have a little dirt on you. You might have fought a little bit. I mean, 3 of Swords comes before this, so maybe you grieve something. So maybe some of you have come through something, right? But you're here, you're resting, and that is a very comfortable nest around you. You've got this lovely little structure here that's just, you are nestled and nurtured here within that nest. So that is where you are right now in terms of your soul. So I guess that I could just have looked at that and said the things I said a second ago. Where you want to travel or go, this really speaks to me of confidence. Really, you know your mind. Stay in your mind. Again, I know it's not in your comfort zone. No, that's not the word I want to use. It's not in your DNA. We'll use that. You are not a pompous type. You are not one to be like, oh, everybody look at me. Sure, you might have charisma, you might have magnetism, all those things, but the Virgos I'm talking to, you guys are, let me put this card down, because let me just say what I have to say first. The Virgos I'm talking about, you guys just have a quiet confidence right now. And again, it's humble, right? It's not arrogant. It's not false. That's an important word. I think I've been itching to say that. It's very real. It's not fake it till you make it. You're just like, you're very present and you're very confident. And here's the advice in this card where you want to go. Other people in your life, any venue, it could be in your mind, even it could be a part of your brain that talks to you this way, but I sense it's more people. With maybe a little more bravado and not in this great place that you are. This is just, you are very, very deeply rooted in your truth right now. You know you. No, there's not one thing another person can say to you about you that has any effect or bearing on what you think, where you are, Another way to say this is all you embody you, and no one else can tell you about yourself. Yes, let me rephrase. That would be it. No one can tell you about yourself. No one. You are the absolute master and authority. And again, remember, gender doesn't matter here. I think non-binary, could be feminine presenting, masculine presenting. It is absolutely irrelevant. You are just in your mind, as in not in your head, but you are a very sound and strong-rooted mind. And I think, I don't know why, it's like spirit, I get it. Okay, I think they understand. I'm speaking English and I'm just saying the same thing 5 different ways, but tell them that they need to know. Okay, so tell them that they need to know. That's what I heard. Tell them that they need to know. So it's not enough to just be here. You have to know that you're there. This is you. Take a screenshot. Spirit's being a little pushy, not pushy, but just kind of like, I'm ready to move on, but apparently I'm not supposed to, so I'll just sit here for a minute. It's very important. So okay, I got it. So that's the message. Okay, that's the message. The message isn't, this is you, check it out. The message is, this is you, you know this is you. And what this card wants to say, as does Spirit, is that remember this is you. Man, I don't know why we don't know why we do why Spirit does what Spirit does, but Spirit feels very emphatic about this card, and it's almost making me like, dude, let up a little. But anyway, my guides can be pushy. Yeah, so you need to remember this. You need to remember this. This is where you are. I don't know what kind of things you're going to run into, or maybe it's a parent. Is it a mother? It's a parent. I'm seeing a female figure, but again, gender, right? What does that matter? Okay, I'm going to move on. Can we move on? Okay, take a screenshot. Tell them to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this picture so that you can see it when you need it. Okay? And just so you know, Spirit, I'm going to tell them. All right, cool. We're good. To add to that, this is the deck. If you want to get the deck, or you want to Google it, you can Google images. This is the King of Swords and the Light Seers Tarot. Okay? I'm going to put this down. But clearly it's very important, and I think you have gotten the screenshot if you needed it. Spent a whole lot of time on that. And I am happy to conclude with this card, which is the immediate action to take. And this, again, this kind of brings me to this. It's like, yeah, you have everything. Like, this is you literally getting up. Yeah, it's like you've got magic in your hands. But what I see, what's coming through for me really, really strongly is the Wands aspect and the sort of festive nature of this person. So the image that came to my mind was a bar. I'm not trying to coax you to drink, but take this as perhaps a figurative image. Standing on a bar stool or standing on a table and dancing. So standing on a table, but in public. And I'm getting the vibe. Yeah, the message is like, that's totally not something you would do, right? And that's not me asking the question, but it's hard to know who's talking anymore. That's not something you would do, but you have permission and it will free you. So help liberate yourself. Help liberate yourself. You have... This card is so badass. I love this card. All these cards, really. I mean, this reading's been intense for me. I don't know about you all, but this has been an intense reading. I feel like I'm giving an individual reading. Like, this must be someone. There must be at least one person out there that just needed a reading. And they didn't know they needed a reading, or they didn't have the money, but they really, really needed a reading. So if that's you, bless you, and I hope this serves you, because, yeah, I mean, I'd like to speak for all tarot readers, but I mean, we do this because we care about people and we want to be here for you. It's a service, it's not, hey, look at me, I do stuff. It's not a performance, it's a service. We're here to serve you. So if it has served at least one person, but you need to go out, whoever you are, whoever many of you are, dance on a table. That's all I'm getting with that one. Literally dance on a table. That's a very specific instruction. Okay, Virgo. Whew, I'm going to have to take a break. This has been an awesome reading. Thank you for taking me on the journey with you. Thank you to your guides. And thank you to Spirit for bringing me to you and giving me the privilege of reading for you. So you take care until the next time.